Getting to be live, and we're live.
Hey, how about that? It must be Monday.
It is Monday, and for all you people that don't watch Monday Night Football, welcome.
How about that? Well, from what I understand, the Steelers are doing okay this year. So, but they're not playing tonight. Am I right?
No, they played yesterday. They beat Cincinnati. They beat the Bungles.
You don't need to watch any of that tonight. You can watch us and talk fascinating movie stuff with us.
Yes. So we will start the movie show
Now? All right.
I like the way.
You see, I added a little something.
Wow. Welcome to the film festival, the Monday Night Movie Club. That's usually on a Monday.
That's right, and it is a Monday, so this is great.
It did work out to be a Monday. The fan of my computer is going crazy.
Really?
Yeah, it just goes crazy.
It's excited about another fascinating Monday.
It is The Naked Gun.
It is 1988 Leslie Nielsen classic.
Our senior year in high school, this movie came out.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I would have thought it was earlier.
Yeah, I would have thought this was like 84.
Yeah, I would have thought that too. I was shocked. And so obviously the first movie of the Naked Gun trilogy, and what's interesting is, Leslie Nielsen was 62 when he did the first of these three movies.
I know.
So, and I will say, I don't think I have watched this probably at least since 1990. It has been a long time. I'm going to guess that this was my first viewing of this in 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I showed this to Josh a few years back because Airplane is his favorite movie, or was at the time. And I said, "Oh, you like Airplane? You should watch this fine film with Frank Drebin."
And what was his takeaway?
He liked it.
Yeah.
And then the other night when we were talking about it, I said, "Oh, we're doing The Naked Gun." He goes, "Is that the one with the body condoms?" And I'm like, "It is." He goes, "I didn't know what that meant when I watched this the first time."
And you shouldn't have. What's like when I know for the first probably 10 or 15 times I watched Grease, I did not get most of what was going on in Grease. I just like the songs. So yeah, I'm glad to hear you did not explain that to him at 11.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that Rizzo had a broken typewriter.
Right, exactly, right.
What does that mean?
It was lost references, right? I had no idea. Later, it's like, what's going on? And what are the words to Grease Lightning? Adam Jones is in the comments section. He says that he was only 11 the first time he saw that. That might be a good introductory age for this movie, is 11 years old. And so, and this was Adam's pick for the Wheel of Reels that got selected for us this week. And so I'm glad that Adam is here to discuss, at least in the comments, or he can dial in, and anybody else watching gets to click on a link, dial in. I don't know, what are we? what show is this? There's nothing to dial. Put your phone away unless you're watching on your phone. I
probably saw this at 18.
Oh yeah, I don't remember if I saw it in the theater. The funny thing is, I know I've seen all three of them. So obviously, they were wildly successful movies. Over 350 million that it made on an $86 million budget. So they did pretty well. Nowadays, of course, the fact that this movie, one of the overarching themes of this movie is feeling sorry for O.J. Simpson, is kind of an odd takeaway. You get to spend a lot of times going, "Oh, poor O.J."
Yeah, poor Nordberg.
Yeah, right. And now it's like, yeah, you know what? You could probably bounce on him a little bit more. It's all good.
I love at the beginning of the movie when OJ's got the little cap on and he's like sneaking around.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it looked like on Bundy Drive.
Well, that's a very good point. As a little, OJ, certainly, he had a run. He had, hopefully he got a check, I'm sure. That's good stuff.
Yeah, he had a really small part in this movie when you think about it.
Oh, yeah. No, he was definitely, a minor character in this. I believe he has a more substantial role in the second one, but I honestly I can't tell you the last time I watched that movie.
I was going to watch all three, but I didn't.
No, I don't. Adam shared that he watched all three of them in the past week. He shared this on Friday night. I don't think I could do that close in proximity because this is not. I think there was a day where this was my kind of humor. This is no longer my exact kind of humor that I enjoy. And this is not to say that I don't love stupid humor. All right. I adore stupid humor to a degree that most people cannot relate. And I admit that, and I acknowledge that I listen and I enjoy some of the strangest stuff on the planet. Shortly before we went on tonight, I did a Google search because I thought somebody probably made this, and I did find that somebody recorded the entire Hamilton soundtrack as Muppets, and I was enjoying listening to a little of that before we went on the air. So, I mean, no criticism of what people.
Back.
Oh no, this is, I don't think we would get shut off for this, and I would hate to get a shut off so early.
Well, let's wait.
We'll wait. We'll save that for the end. I have a snippet of this.
That's the bonus. You have to stick around to hear that.
Stick around to the end. You get to hear a little Hamilton.
Alexander Hamilton here.
Oh, totally. Kermit the Frog is Alexander Hamilton. Yeah. So yeah, that much I'll give you. But some other surprise casting in this. So absolutely. Adam feels the third one of the series is forgettable and that they're running out of ideas. But he must enjoy the first one, I'm assuming, because that's why he recommended it. If you've never joined us with the film festival before, Dan will place a link in our comments where you can join in the conversation and share your thoughts about The Naked Gun, the series, Leslie Nielsen, Priscilla Presley.
Mrs. Elvis Presley.
Absolutely. 43 years old to Leslie Nielsen, 62.
Yeah.
19-year-old difference, which I felt...
Nice beaver.
It plays awkward for me. That age difference played awkward for me watching it this time.
That age difference doesn't play awkward to me. 60 to 40. Now 40 to 20 is awkward, but 60 to 40 is not awkward.
I felt that was awkward. I felt he clearly looked considerably older.
Well, the rule I heard was minus half plus 7 years. That's the rule. So 62 would be 31 plus 7. So he could go 38.
It looked uncomfortable for me. But that's just me, Now Connie hasn't been on in a while, but her dad looked exactly like Frank Drabin. Oh, really?
Her dad, Ralph Rowe, looked so much like him that I think he even did some stuff where, he would be a celebrity lookalike.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, Anna Nicole Smith's husband did look awkward, and somehow she outlived him. I mean, he outlived her, right?
He might have. But again, they weren't on a movie together.
They were in real life, though. That's even creepier.
That might actually be creepier. You're absolutely right.
All right, so here's the we'll put the link out.
We got a link. Good.
The link is out. If anybody wants to talk about it, I'll pin it on the.
There are classic lines for this movie. There are fantastic things to remember.
There's no way for a man to die.
Yeah, you're right, Ed. A parachute not opening, that's a way to die. Getting caught in the gears of a combine. Having your nuts bit off by a Laplander, that's the way I want to go.
George Kennedy, by the way, wanted to be an airplane.
Oh, wait.
Because he was an airport.
Oh.
Many of them.
Airports, okay.
Yeah, and I used to do a joke that if you ever get on an airplane and George Kennedy's your pilot, get off. Just don't fly because...
Yeah, that's not good.
And apparently there's been talk that they're doing a reboot of the movie.
Wait, of which movie?
This movie.
Naked Gun?
Yes.
Really?
With Ed Helms. That's been the talk. It's probably a rumor. Who knows?
Interesting. Well, and I mean, lots of things are in discussion, right? I mean, it's Hollywood. You discuss
trivia-wise, interesting things about the movie.
Facts to boggle the mind.
There's not a lot. Although ironically, Susan Bobian played Mrs. Nordberg, the wife of O.J. Simpson's character, and later she starred in The People versus O.J. Simpson.
Well, there she shows typecasting. I don't know what's going on there. That's interesting.
Yeah. But Police Squad, which came out in 1982, they changed the name of it because of Police Academy. So they want to call it Police Squad, and they called it, and it was obviously, like I said before, the Nude Bomb,
right?
Which is another TV show, Get Smart. Was another movie that based on a TV show.
That is also true, right? Yeah, there's a lot of that kind of. What year was the What year was Police Academy? When was the first Police Academy movie out? That'd be
84, I think.
Okay, so obviously this came along later. One thing I didn't get a chance to Google today. What year? I can look this up actually.
I might already know.
What year did Johnny Dangerously come out? Because they both have the same joke in it. So 84, which
Johnny Dangerously was 82.
I just looked it up and said it was 84, but nonetheless,
was it 84?
It was before. It was
right.
before, and they used the same joke. Where in Johnny Dangerously, and Mary Lou Henner are walking for a long time, and eventually just end up on the top of a hillside. They're like, "Where the heck are we?" And they used that same joke in this movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, who did that first?
Well, I love the something tells me I'm into something good. And they're like doing all the date things, they do all this stuff. And it's like, we've known each other less than 24 hours.
Yes. Yeah, thanks for the great day. And then I like the little MTV video credit that appears in the corner as he's walking away. And it actually says Herman's Hermits, I'm into something good. I appreciated that. I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah. And it was, I love the costume changes that they had on their date, the 1 day date.
All right.
I think there were like 6 costume changes.
Oh yeah, they changed their clothes a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was definitely like, what are you guys doing? Shouldn't you be off doing stuff? And what isn't he supposed to solve the case? And it's like, oh, it's only been a day. That was just a day.
Yeah. And I also love that line where he says to Nordberg's wife, we're not gonna sleep till we find his killer. We're gonna work on this right now. And he goes, let's go get something to eat.
That's right. Not a cop.
David Ray. It was I Love LA.
No, that's a different song. That is in there too, though. The I Love LA is in there. There's a lot of good. There's some good music in this. How about that? How about that movie?
I think it held up. I still found it just as funny as I did the first time.
I will say my wife laughed out loud audibly during this movie, and then said it was stupid, but clearly was having a good time with the stupid.
Well, here's a funny story. This isn't a name drop, but my old business partner from cashforcars.com claims, now I'm pretty sure this happened, after this movie came out, he created body condoms because nobody actually made them.
Oh,
and he was in every Spencer Gifts in the country with body condoms as like a gag gift.
That's interesting. Now I wonder what kind of money he made from that.
I don't know, but I would imagine it would be a health hazard.
If he sold them, it'd be another thing to be buying them. Yeah, can you still get them on eBay? Is what I want to know. Can you?
Oh, let's look.
Let's look. If you'd like to keep us from looking, you can join in the conversation. Dan has put a link in the comment section of both Facebook and YouTube where you can weigh in, or you can tell us where you bought your body condoms. That'd be fine too. And then we have to talk about the amazing performance of Riccardo Montalban.
Yes, he's always amazing. Of course, this is after he was Khan.
True.
Because you can't always be, I like what they've done to my car, Cordoba.
That's right. The fine Corinthian leather.
Or your cat, Cordoba.
That's right. We did have a cat named Cordoba.
And every time I saw that cat, I go, I love what you've done to your cat.
Yes, you did say that. For probably
I did. Good cross eyes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Rourke. You don't hear that. Mr. Rourke.
You should hear that.
The plane. So that would for your character generator game. Fantasy Island would be a very quick one.
Well, and that's for the Monday game, the Friday game where we played a game where lifting cast of television. I was totally trying to avoid anybody that only had 2 people on the cast. I'm like, well, we definitely need cast, but I'm working for this Friday. We'll see. This Friday it will be better, even better this Friday. And
we could do a movie version of that.
It's Weird Dave.
I did love in the credits how there was Weird Al and Weird Leslie.
Totally.
Yeah, I also love how they said the top is people who acted in this movie.
Yes. And then when they got to the lesser parts, they didn't give them names. They just gave their obvious line that you can identify them by, which actually works extremely well.
That's actually a very smart thing. But overall, I like this movie. I like the style of movie. I listened to a podcast with David Zucker talking about how the Kentucky Fried movie and the Kentucky Fried Theater became Airplane, became Police Squad, and that style of humor. Really, they kind of invented that genre. Not invented, but they kind of perfected that genre.
What is very Marx Brothers-esque. It's very rapid-fire jokes, one joke after another. It doesn't let up.
But you also
I think to some degree what Weird Al was trying to do in UHF with less success.
Yeah.
Well, that's a matter of opinion, as we'll find out later.
I don't mean UHF was bad, but it's just they had perfected it.
I agree.
Zucker, that team. I mean, Zucker, you could argue maybe they hit gold on their first time out with Airplane, and probably none of the rest quite lived up to that. But it still was a formula that they really, really perfected.
I love the TV show.
I did too. In fact, I actually prefer the TV show to the movies because I think I like the movie, but as I mentioned when we were talking about The Man with Two Brains, I felt that movie suffered from Steve Martin having to shoulder most of the humor, and I felt this movie a little bit suffered from Leslie Nielsen having to shoulder 80% of the humor.
Yeah.
Whereas in Airplane, it was spread around nicely.
Yes. Yeah. It is.
You had all the guys, Lloyd Bridges and Johnny back at the air traffic control tower. You had, it just was a more of a distributed.
The island's getting larger.
And I think for me, that's where I don't enjoy this movie as much. And it's not that I don't like Leslie Nielsen. It's a lot of Leslie Nielsen.
Which is why the TV show in half-hour chunks works better for me.
I can see that. I could totally see that because I did get to the point where I was like, it was just a lot of fatigue of, well, here's the really dumb guy. Here's the really dumb or accident prone or, and it's just like, okay, I get it. I get it. It's good. It's okay. But I mean, it's, I feel like, while it's not my particular line of genre of movie. And again, not that it's dumb comedy because I love dumb comedy. But yeah, it's for me, it's just, but I recognize that it did sort of set up, so many other movies in a style of comedy that, will be timeless.
Yeah. Now, Adam made that was a really great line.
That was great. That was a brilliant line.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, that was the only time where I laughed out loud.
I mean, I love the doctor said he had a 50-50 chance of living. Oh, there's only a 10% chance of that.
And I love that he's just like at least he acknowledged it. But Leslie Nielsen, I mean, he makes a lot more crazy faces in this, whereas in Airplane, he was dead serious the entire time.
Yeah.
As the doctor.
Whereas George Kennedy was more the straight, the established actor playing it straight. Leslie Nielsen was more the comic foil. Although I did find it funny that how George Kennedy was cast, and I'm sure you read that, Dan, and the studio insisted an Oscar winner be in the cast.
Yes.
Odd.
Yeah, he worked. I mean, it was good casting, and he and Nielsen played well off each other. But it was a little strange how he was cast, and he was happy about that because he felt disappointed he hadn't been in Airplane.
And the woman at the beginning, when Ricardo Montalban hits the little button, and she goes to shoot Mr. Papschmear, must kill Papschmear, and she's pulling the empty gun. That is the Zucker's mom.
Oh,
And that's one of the areas I think where this fell a little flat compared to Airplane was, naming the guy Pap Schmear is almost a Mel Brooks-ish type of joke.
There were a couple like that where it's just like, okay,
yeah,
you know.
Well,
The one
also,
that you,
I-
as a
I
kid,
could afford
would have
a
gone right
dog
over your head.
Right, exactly. But again, at 18 or 19 or 20, I probably really enjoy it.
Priscilla Presley and George Kennedy were both on the TV show Dallas, but not at the same time.
I did not know.
This was her first movie role. She'd been on TV before, but this was her first movie role. And John Houseman's last movie role.
Oh, that's interesting.
As the driving instructor.
They make money the old-fashioned way. They earn it.
Yes. The paper chase.
I do love how the driver instructor's like, okay, now you want to
Roll down your window.
slam on your brakes.
Yes.
Put it in
All right, roll
reverse.
down your window. Extend your left arm.
Yeah, they tipped the punch on that one.
Yeah, they did.
I mean,
was
she's
so
like,
good.
extend your right arm, and she's already like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, Adam has a good point. It's a quick movie. It's 85 minutes.
Yep.
That is correct. So,
And it is the
Nice
best
and
of the
quick.
three.
It's like a 3 shit movie.
that's that's one way to look
Depends
at
how
it.
much fiber you have in your diet.
I was going to say.
Now, if we want to talk about cars real quick, Frank drives a 1985 Ford LTD Crown Victoria.
And how many did
Which-
they ruin?
Which caught on fire and
How many did they destroy between fender benders and actually just burning the heck out of it?
and that was a
Well,
joke straight out of the TV show. The fact that every time they pull up to a place, they run into something.
Right.
There's
then
another
what
thing
they-
about the car.
What they missed from the TV show is in the end credits of the TV show, they would always do a freeze frame. But it was a fake freeze frame where everyone would have to stand perfectly still. So it'd be like leaking pipes, so water would be flowing down, or like the wind would be blowing through, but they'd all have to stand there like they were in a freeze frame.
However, in the trailer, they did do that.
Ah,
I put the trailer up on Facebook earlier. Let me see if
I
I
saw
can
you
pull it
posted a
up.
link to it. I didn't watch it yet.
I had forgotten about the intro with the police vehicle driving through all the various locations, which to me, it reminded me a lot of the and not directly, obviously, but like the Austin Powers openings, where it's like, okay, you're doing your credits, and you're going to give a lot of names up front, but you're going to find a way to make it entertaining.
Right.
And it's like, all right, yeah, I get this. I see where you're going. And it's like, because we've talked before about the movies that start right away versus the ones that give you credit. It's like, all right, but this isn't a terrible experience watching the credits here.
No, some of it was quite fun.
Yeah.
And probably mounting and all it takes is mounting a light on front of the camera, in front of a steady cam, and then
Right.
you just film all kinds of scenes and cut them together.
Right, exactly.
Well, here's the end of the trailer. Hold on one second. Yes.
Oh, no.
All right, I will be right back. Apparently, there's something going on with our dog downstairs. So you guys discuss.
We'll go deal with that. You go deal with that, and we'll stay here.
Discuss amongst yourselves.
Absolutely, exactly, absolutely. So did you? I assume you watched it this week.
We watched it Saturday, I believe. Yeah.
How long has it been since you've seen it before this week?
Probably almost as long as you. I mean, I may have seen it on cable once 15 or 20 years ago. I don't know. But it's certainly not a movie I knew incredibly well. In fact, one of the jokes that I thought was in this movie is probably in the second movie.
I think
Because I remembered it.
Yeah, you had made reference.
Yeah, yeah. Is this some kind of bust? Because that was one of the jokes. And I didn't have time because it's time consuming, but I'd love to go back and rewatch the TV show just to see how many of the jokes in this were recycled from the TV show.
That's an interesting.
And about half the cast is the same and about half they recast. Because, Leslie Nielsen was from the TV show.
Right.
Al, the guy whose head you never see.
Right, I remember him on.
He was that was the same actor from the TV show.
So that was 1982. I'm looking up really quick. I was curious how many episodes they did. They only had one season.
Yes, only one season. That's why the
Interesting.
complete series DVD is one disc. I do believe.
Probably
82.
probably pretty affordable, right?
Yes, I picked up probably a Black Friday, $8 deal or something.
I was gonna say, usually when it's just one disc, unless they're trying to, expand it beyond.
I remember seeing Airplane, and then their follow-up to Airplane was Top Secret, right? That's the one with with Val Kilmer.
Yes, that's Top Secret. Yes.
Yeah. And it's uneven. It has some great moments, and I love the skeet surfing song. I will say one thing.
Good.
I would say one thing. You were talking about the music in this. Excuse me.
Yeah.
There really were only two songs that stood out, which was "I Love L.A." and "I'm Into Something Good," but they were both used perfectly. They didn't feel like they were padding the soundtrack.
I agree. I agree with that. But Louie Louie by the marching band has over top of Ricardo Montalban.
There was one of the IMDb trivia was, this was one of 3 movies from 1988 where someone is run over by a steamroller. There's this, A Fish Called Wanda, and I can't remember the third one.
That's awesome. And I will say I did enjoy the line where it was like, "Oh, it's just how my father went." Like, what? That's crazy.
Well, that's what makes their movies great, is just the little throwaway lines. They're often better than the long, drawn-out scenes, like to me, seduction between Drebin and Priscilla Presley's character had some moments, but it wasn't nearly as funny as just some of the throwaway lines that they had.
See, and those are the lines I find more funny, right? Where it's the more subtle, not quite so in your face, kind of like, okay, here we go. We're gonna deal with this. We're gonna deal with the pen in the fish tank stuff, which is fine.
I mean, because that scene was so telegraphed. You knew as soon as he walked in the office with all this expensive stuff, it's like, okay, what's he gonna destroy? Yeah. But you didn't know it was going to be destroyed in 2 separate scenes. One where he does the pen and the fish, and the other where he trashes the whole place.
But it was like, here's this pen. It's virtually indescribable, except by water. And it's like, yes. Here it comes. Here it comes. Okay. Yep. There just happens to be a tank of water nearby.
Didn't catch you by surprise.
No. But I mean, I get it, and I get.
And I enjoyed it.
I said it's interesting for me because I said I don't. Like I said, I didn't enjoy it. It's certainly not. It wasn't Woody Allen, but it was. Just that's my low bar, even below Howard the Duck. So it wasn't that. It wasn't like I wasn't angry, and I'm with my. But I'm with my wife, who is audibly enjoying this. She is absolutely laughing at some of the absurdity that's happening, and it's like, all right, I see, I see. There's an audience for it. There are people who love this kind of thing. And I used to like more of this kind of stuff. And then I broke. I have no idea. It's
the scene where OJ is breaking into the ship and he puts his foot through the door.
Yes.
That brief scene was very funny.
Yes.
Then it extended out, and the extended scene wasn't as funny as the initial opening.
Yes. Yeah. The wet paint, the bear trap. I mean, it's funny. It's funny. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. As I've gotten older, I've seen so many of the slapstick.
I've lived my life.
Oh yes, and I now I see that kind of stuff come down.
It might be fine for the younger generation.
That's right. At least it's the young kids out there who love these movies. No, I'm kidding.
I think that's all. That movie is so hot with the kids.
It's a young people movie, I think, is my problem.
They love Leslie Nielsen.
I do like Leslie Nielsen. I do.
Yes, I do too.
It's obviously it's a fun movie. It's not. They weren't writing a masterpiece.
No, they accomplished what they set out to accomplish.
Exactly right. So if you think about it too much, there becomes a point where there's like, well, wait a second, that doesn't make sense. Is that a plot hole? And it's like, this is not a movie to worry about plot holes.
I think. See, I don't compare this to other comedies, but when I compare it to Airplane. Yes. Or even when I compare it to the TV show, it's not as good to me as either of those. And that's where it suffers a bit.
Well, see, and this is, I don't know why. And I'm going to have to do an evaluation of the movies I enjoy. I don't like when the main character is stupid, right? I don't enjoy that, as that being the hero or that just sort of that playing for the he's adult. And it's like why I don't enjoy a lot of Will Ferrell as much, and I don't like the Adam Sandler as much. And it's not that I don't, and it's like I recognize that they're funny, but I find that they're not movies I want to rewatch because I find them painful that our lead character or hero is kind of an idiot or a jerk. Makes me like, nah, I don't know.
But that's a lot of comedies, I should say.
Oh, I know. That is a lot of comedy.
What do you think of Dumb and Dumber?
Oh, no. When I was younger, I used to really enjoy it. We tried, when we were doing movie nights with our kids, and they were like, what can we watch? Like, oh, they might like this. And I'm like, we watched it. I'm like, this is terrible. You guys should not like this. And they did not. And so, yeah, for me, it's, I find that maybe that's the thing that's changed as I've gotten old is that looking at the main character being, because like my wife loves Will Ferrell, right? I mean, for her, like Talladega Nights and, Anchorman. And it's like,
what about John Candy movies? Because he has some movies where he has some movies like Uncle Buck. He's not dumb by any means,
right? And I've never seen it.
more than John Candy. Chris Farley's a better example. Chris Farley in Black Sheep,
which I've never seen.
He tends to play.
I should see it.
Not dumb, more naive characters.
Yes, yeah, and I get that, and I don't enjoy those. To me, aren't my movies, right? And I've never been that way. Like as far as probably since 2000s at least, but in the 90s even, that was sort of like, I don't want to. I don't know. I don't enjoy those movies as much because I don't, laughing at poor people.
Haven't been watching through the Rob Schneider filmography then?
I have not watched any of the Deuce Bigalow movies, I'm afraid. So if somebody wants to put that on the wheel sometime.
And I feel the same way about Ace Ventura and a lot of Jim Carrey's movies. There's times Jim Carrey's very good, whether it's Truman Show or a few others. Even The Mask, which is sort of more zany, he's good in it. But a lot of the ones where he's just playing the hey character, it gets tired.
I agree with that. And honestly, recently, not recently, but within the past 3 or 4 years, we watched Ace Ventura. Kind of feels the same way. I mean, at least he's it's over the top, but still. Mm-hmm. No, Adam asks if I like Forrest Gump, and I don't think you're laughing at Forrest Gump.
Well, that's not a comedy.
Right? I think my point is that you're laughing at these people. You're either laughing at how horrible of a person they are because they will do these terrible, evil things to people, or you're laughing at how stupid they are. And I don't. I want to more relate and yes, there will be people who say, well, Eric, you should relate to these dumb people all the time. But
there are outliers though. Have you ever seen Being There?
I've never seen Being There.
It was Peter Sellers, I believe, next to last movie where and it should have been his last movie. But anyway, he didn't know he was going to die, I guess. But it was, he plays not a stupid man, but a bit of a simpleton, I guess you might say, or someone who's just naive to an exceptionally extreme degree.
Yeah.
But it somehow works in that context because you're not laughing at him.
Right.
In fact, if anything, you're more laughing at the people around him who have such artifice and are so, controlled, whereas he is just a very simple man going through life.
See, and I get naive and I get simple. Like, I mean, eventually, maybe this week even, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to put up the Truman Show, right? And Jim Carrey's in that movie is not necessarily the brightest man in the world, right? But he's good. He's a good guy,
and he's the sympathetic character.
Yeah, exactly, right. So I can certainly
welcome back, Dan.
And I enjoy. I can enjoy Forrest Gump. Not that I've watched Forrest Gump a lot. We're talking about stupid people as the main character, as being one of my hangups with movies. Stupid or mean people as the main character, as being something that I do not enjoy in movies, and it might be why I enjoy UHF more than I enjoy this movie.
Now, do you, when you said you don't enjoy mean characters as the main character, what about if they get their comeuppance, like Dabney Coleman in 9 to 5, for example?
Well, if they're not I don't mind mean characters in a film. Obviously, you need an antagonist, right? So that's not my issue. Of course, yeah, no. Gosh, I forgot all about 9 to 5.
You can put it on the wheel.
Yeah, it's true. Adam says he doesn't see Truman Show as a comedy. IMDb lists it as a comedy, drama, comedy, sci-fi.
It's a comedy in the same vein that something like Stranger Than Fiction is a comedy.
Right.
It's a comedy, but it's not strictly a comedy.
Yeah, it's not. Well, it's not The Naked Gun. It's not, I mean, these are
Woody Allen
on two different ends of the spectrum.
Now, a lot of Woody Allen's films after he got out of his more slapstick period are more of that type. Annie Hall is not a wacky comedy.
And I enjoyed Annie Hall. I mean, it's been a long time since I watched it, but I enjoyed Annie Hall. Just to stop ripping on Woody Allen for 5 seconds, just because we watched one movie.
Well, just to give a quick update, so we got a new dog.
Yes. Is everything okay?
The dog is scared out of its mind, and it's never worn a collar before.
Oh.
And it had a collar on that had one of those, it's got 2 layers to it. And somehow it got the collar stuck in its mouth.
Like a bridle.
And it's running around the house, and there's crap shooting out of its butt as it's running, like a Pez dispenser.
And you didn't get your phone and do a live stream of that?
This is fodder for your TV show.
So, yeah, my wife and son are freaking out. The other dog is freaking out.
I'm thinking Naked Gun 4.
Yeah, she got trapped in the bathroom. I was trying to help her, and she was snapping at me. And her teeth were bleeding a little bit.
Aw.
Yeah. Rescuing dogs is not easy. All right, what did I miss?
Welcome back.
And this should be a lot easy. I think does anybody have any more comments about The Naked Gun? You want to talk about this anymore, or are we ready to rate?
The main thing we were discussing, Dan, to give you the 20-second synopsis, was just that we both enjoyed this movie to a degree, but didn't feel it, hit it out of the park. It didn't hold up as well as, say, Airplane does from the same people. And Eric was sort of giving his reason why, one of his reasons why.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that I think it's a terrible movie. It's not Howard the Duck. It's not,
Take the money and run.
Take the money and run. So I think it is. I think we're ready. I think we need to give this sucker a score and move on to what's coming up for the next week.
Well, I'll start with a 68.
Really? I expected you to rate that much higher.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm shocked. Do you want to show? We can show the. We'll show our rating board so that people can get an idea of where we've been rating movies thus far. So for Dan, he's given a 68 as his score. So if you're in the comments, throw a score number 1 to 100. Obviously, if you've seen the movie before, no rating if you have no idea if you've seen the movie.
Yeah, let me change that. Let me go 72.
72. You're going to bring it into the C range.
Yeah. I'm a little shaken by the dog still.
What do you give the dog at this moment?
Running around the house with poop coming out of it?
What's
a 94 at least.
That's a Pauly Shore movie right there.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Absolutely.
The Benny Hill theme is what I kept hearing.
That would have been classic. I'm going to go with 70. I'm going to say this is not a D movie for me. This is not, it's got moments that I certainly will, it was nice to be refreshed on because it's been so long I've seen it. But if I don't see it for another 30 years, I'll be okay with it. Too spot on, maybe.
But if you came home and the kids were watching it, you might sit down with them.
No, but yeah, sure. Why not? All right. Adam gives it an 88.
75.
75 from Dave. Yeah. So see if we can get anybody else in the comments who might be interested in throwing out a score here before we give our final rating for The Naked Gun. And then obviously we will discuss what movie we'll be watching next week. And next week, am I right about this? Next week will be the Monday before Thanksgiving.
Well, it's still random.
Oh, it is still random. I know. Just saying.
And at some point, I believe your plan was to start collecting holiday films.
I think eventually we're gonna maybe next week we'll start collecting you know, we don't want to end up with 400 Christmas movies on a wheel. Our movie wheel is already getting a little hectic.
Well, we can start a separate wheel just for movies, or just for
holiday.
Christmas movies.
We will. Absolutely. I think we might be done. That might be all the scores that we're going to get tonight.
All right. Well, they put in the scores. We only got 4 of them, but that gives us an average still.
It absolutely does. That puts The Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad at 76, which will put it with Johnny Dangerously. Absolutely.
Well, they used the same joke. How perfect.
They did. They had the same joke, and that landed them in the same.
So that joke is a 76.
Absolutely. So that lands it at the top of the second column with a 76 for The Naked Gun. Excellent. Right above Game Night and Back to the Future 3. So depending on how everybody feels about that. Excellent. All right. Well, we want to visit the wheel. Is it that time? I think it's time. Let's visit the wheel. All right, let's do it. Here it is. There's the absolutely crazy Wheel of Reels, where we will be selecting a movie to watch next week. But before we spin the wheel, we want to collect some more movie suggestions from everybody who's watching in the comments, or obviously us as well. And you can see we've got quite a few movies already, which I will not read off in the instance of putting everybody to sleep. So what we want to do is we want to find out what movie will you suggest to put on the wheel. I think I'm just going to put The Truman Show on there. I think it's definitely different, a little different.
World War II drama.
A little drama-y. I admit that it is not, and that will be part of the discussion, I'm sure.
Well, I'm going to name a movie that also is not a pure comedy, but I definitely classify it as a comedy. The Great Race.
Oh, there you go.
I'm going to put it one that is, we've talked about it before. Okay. It's one of the movies I've laughed out loud at. It's based sort of on It's a Mad, 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 Mad World.
Uh-oh.
Rat Race?
Rat Race.
There it is. Nice.
So we got The Great Race, Rat Race.
And we got Strange Brew from Adam and
McKenzie Brothers.
How appropriate, a Bob and Doug movie.
The day after SpaceX launches.
That's excellent. That's excellent. If there's anybody else in the comments who'd like to,
with Max von Sydow, actually, that's got some gravitas to it too.
Oh, okay. My sister puts in a movie. While you were sleeping. Excellent. Wow, Sandra Bullock. I actually, a movie that was not released as a comedy, but now is probably definitely considered a comedy. And I almost watched this earlier today, The Net, with Sandra Bullock, 1995, where she is a computer programmer who lives on her computer all day long, and somebody erases her whole identity from the net.
Yep.
So, crime thriller at the time, and now probably hilarious comedy.
Well, there have been a lot of movies of someone erasing their identity.
It's true.
It was Enemy of the State with Will Smith. Yeah.
But it was, guy hitting on her on the beach, like, hey,
does anyone else have a movie they'd like to
have on your computer, right? And she's like, yeah. So you could be at this beautiful sunset, and all you can think about is, where do I plug in my modem?
Shall we play a game?
Ba-ding, ba-ding. You've got mail.
Fantastic.
I think a remake
of adding a movie.
All right, I'm gonna randomize the list. I'm gonna shuffle up the list here a little bit.
Ooh, so much more random.
Whoa, look at that. Now it's even more random. And let's give it a spin.
Now with extra randomness.
That's right. Exactly. Look at these Blackhawk colors, by the way.
Now with Repton.
Here. And there we go. Trading Spaces.
Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd, Don Amici, and who's the other old gentleman? Name's escaping me. Oh, Ralph Bellamy.
Ralph Bellamy.
Excellent. Do we know what year was Trading Places?
Was shortly after Aykroyd had left SNL, and That's right. Ackroyd had been out for a while because it was after Murphy left SNL. So 90s.
I believe, and this is rated R, I believe.
It's actually 1983.
80th? What?
83. Nice.
What year were?
Whoa, yeah, you're right.
I'm completely off base.
And
Wow.
this movie is 1 hour and 58 minutes. This is a 2-hour movie. In comparison to the shorter Naked Gun. So yeah,
we should maybe there's a correlation between how short a movie is and how we rank it.
Jamie Lee Curtis, of course, is also. I think you mentioned her.
Yes.
Adam Jones says there's one reason he'll watch Trading Places, and he has not shared what the reason.
Jamie Lee Curtis, probably.
I think it's probably Jamie Lee Curtis, and I have to be careful because I by default I want to say Trading Spaces.
I know.
Frank's gonna walk in and redesign their.
They're gonna, Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. We're gonna have you redecorate.
Yeah.
Where's Ty? Ty's coming to make you a custom headboard out of cedar wood.
Oh no, Genevieve's. No, it's Lori. Who's putting? Who's the one who put the moss on the wall?
Oh my gosh,
Lori. I don't know who it was. I lose track of it.
It's a whole different experience. Maybe we could rate an episode of Trading Spaces one time
for the TV show.
Yeah, exactly. For the TV show week.
And keeps threatening to have.
That's pretty exciting, though. I think this is that's my wife would be thrilled. Who put this one on the wheel?
I did.
Did you put this one in? Excellent. That's exciting.
I did because we were talking about it.
My wife is going to be beyond thrilled.
Good.
Does she love this movie?
Oh my gosh, yeah, she loves this movie. She's been talking about wanting to watch this movie since 1983.
Is this a Christmas movie?
It's a Christmas movie. So Adam shares that he's back on lockdown again until December 14th.
Well, we're not really on lockdown, but yeah, they shut the restaurants here. Well, Pennsylvania did stricter than we're doing.
Well, we've been spiking
Pennsylvania's rules.
Oh, we're spiking. Yeah. We're spiking, but that gives you more time to watch movies. So that's
exactly
cool. Exactly right. Relax, enjoy your holidays. Yeah, I can't tell you the last time I watched Trading Spaces, and probably most of the time I watched it, it was a clean version on network television. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking, I was 13 when this came out. I did not see it in the theaters, obviously,
interestingly, when I go to Amazon Prime, it shows that, rent the movie in HD for $3.99, and that's crossed out and it says 0. They're having some sort of promotion now, who knows how long, where it's free to watch if you have Prime.
It'll be expensive tomorrow.
Yes, exactly. The day we decide to watch it.
That's what happens.
Yeah. They're like, oh crap, we got to earn some money. $14.99 for sale only.
Or Amazon. We're not making enough billions this week.
Hey, you know what? COVID's hit hard for Amazon.
Oh, they've been suffering. Yeah, they and Netflix and Zoom have just been.
Yeah, nobody wants to mail order stuff on the internet now,
or watch streaming shows.
They'd much rather go to Costco without a mask and yell at somebody. That's live drama right there. I don't need your streaming video. If I want drama, I'll go out without a mask.
There's a reality show for you. Just stupid people doing stupid things in stores.
Where's Johnny Knoxville when you need him? Because that would be a total. That's craziness.
All right, so we have next week's movie.
Yes.
We've added to the list. We've ranked this week's movie.
Yep. Absolutely. Do you want to get a jump on the do you want to do the jump on the holiday list?
We could start a holiday list.
Sure. Why not start a holiday list here? I'm trying.
That's what I was saying, Adam. The orange juice futures. It's very confusing.
What?
What happened?
I don't know what happened.
You're making a wheel.
I'm. So what I'm doing? Don't mind my picture taking.
I was just consulting my list of movies to see if there are any holiday movies on the list.
I am. So the fine people at pickerwheel.com, which offers such a lovely service for us to spin the wheel from, they do offer a feature where you can create multiple lists, and it does seem to save them. But my fear is that sometime I'm going to log back into the site, and there's no login actually.
Save the list somewhere.
So that's why I'm taking screen captures of the list before I tell it that I'd like to start another list.
Why don't I I could do the holiday one.
Why don't you do that? That would be great. You take care
What's
of
it
that.
called?
It is pickerwheel.com. Pickerwheel.com.
Well, there it is.
There you go. Easy peasy.
All right.
All right. So, anybody in the comments would like to throw out a holiday themed music for a movie for December? I think anything holiday themed, December ish. And are we going to have? I guess the ultimate question is: are we going to have a discussion about what constitutes a Christmas movie?
I think we should wait until one comes up that is controversial.
Okay, so that will be up for discussion about what constitutes a
Well,
Christmas.
Will said yes, we should discuss it.
So yes, we have to discuss that. We will there, So, but throw out your Christmas movies, and we'll start a list. And so, okay, here, I have another question about this. Then, so we're going to be talking about holiday movies. Are we sticking in the comedy realm of holiday movies, or is it any holiday movie? If somebody wants us to watch, Krampus Returns or whatever.
I think it should be comedy-ish at least.
Okay.
I picked Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
And I assume it's November, December time frame-ish holidays. We're not going to watch some Easter or Valentine's Day movie.
Yeah, Groundhog Day is going to have to wait till February. We will watch Groundhog Day in February.
You can say Christmas, even though I'm Jewish. I'm okay with it.
Okay.
It's a Christmas movie.
Well, but I was thinking because there are Thanksgiving movies.
Absolutely.
Like
Are
you
there?
can argue For Your Consideration is a Halloween movie Thanksgiving movie because actually I don't know if you're familiar with that one. It's one of the Christopher Guest movies. They were originally making a movie called Home for Purim, and once the studio got involved, they kept making them change things about it, so eventually became Home for Thanksgiving.
Well, there you go. I think we can do any holiday within the November-December time frame.
What about Elf?
There you go. That's an excellent choice.
Which one was it?
Elf.
ELF.
Not Elf.
All right.
And Adam puts out Home Alone. You got that in there. I'm going to go with Scrooged. I'm going to go with the Bill Murray classic Scrooged.
I spell that right?
Yes, with the exclamation point. Good job.
Done. Absolutely. If anybody else in the comments wants to throw out a holiday movie, and we'll have the discussion. If anybody throws out Die Hard, we'll have that discussion.
Not a comedy, but also not a Christmas movie, according to Bruce Willis.
The other one, if we're allowed to do more than one, The Night Before was another one we had mentioned previously.
Well, do you want to do more than one, or are we going to do one a week?
We'll do one a week, I think.
Okay, I'll hold that.
All right, hold on to that one. Or you can get your wife to type it in the comments.
There you go. I've got that up my sleeve.
Go do that. Yeah, go type it in.
Because I know she really likes that movie, so she might well do it.
I've never seen it. I've wanted to watch it, though. I've heard great things.
Like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Seth Rogen, Michael Shannon. Who else is in that? Those are the main ones I remember.
If you have any other holiday themed movies, you can throw those in. If you have a regular comedy, you can throw it in.
So our goal is to start watching these throughout the month of December, and then we'll return back to the regular wheel of reels. I'm going to suggest that through December, maybe we don't add.
And there it is, The Night Before.
There it is. And there's your mom with 8 Crazy Nights. Absolutely fantastic. That's awesome.
But Eric just said he doesn't like Adam Sandler movies.
I've never seen it, actually.
Well, actually, you said you don't like Adam Sandler movies where he's dumb.
Right, exactly. I've never seen 8 Crazy Nights, absolutely.
It's a cartoon.
Yes,
I know. That much I know. Yeah, I know, and I've seen like every cartoon that exists, including some that shouldn't exist. But yeah. So you got The Night Before and 8 Crazy Nights added to the wheel, the Christmas wheel, the holiday wheel, and so here's a question. So if we're going to be watching movies from the holiday wheel in Christmas throughout December, are we going to continue to add movies to the regular wheel throughout?
I think it's
I think
already
we
pretty
can wait.
It's pretty full at this point. You know, I mean, I'm happy to keep adding to it, but I don't want it to get out of control where it's like, well, now we're just watching crap because
no, the micro font. What does that say?
Don't seem to be getting smaller. That's the part that concerns me about the wheel too. I'm not sure.
We've added The Night Before. We've added 8 Crazy Nights.
And your mother's never seen this movie, so we're all going to experience this together. That's awesome.
All right.
Fantastic.
Let's see. There was Billy Bob Thornton and Bad Santa, but I've never seen it.
No, I've never seen Bad Santa. What is it? Oh darn! I started bringing it up and I don't remember what it's called. Hold on, let me see if I can find it here quick. I have a nice collection of Christmas movies.
Now the BFI does count Trading Spaces as a Christmas movie.
Oh, interesting. See,
and you said Trading Spaces instead of Trading Places.
I did. Oh,
see,
my turn.
What was the movie I'm thinking of? There's a nope, not what I'm thinking of. Okay.
What was the one where? Oh, the Santa Claus.
Yep. There's 3 of those
with Tim Allen. Yeah.
You have Larry the Cable Guy, Jingle All the Way. 2.
Right.
Yeah, the Santa Claus, the Mrs. Claus, and the Escape Clause. They ran out of clauses.
They got considerably worse as they went on. There's the Jim Carrey, How the Grinch Stole Christmas that might come up. There's
is that a comedy or a tragedy?
Christmas with the Cranks might come out. The original
very raunchy Bad Santa.
Oh, there's A Christmas Story, which is one of my wife's favorite Christmas movies.
Yes, that's on my short list too. Yeah.
See,
not one of Margaret's favorites though.
No, I've honestly never seen it in one piece. I've never sat through the whole thing.
Does TBS still do their marathon? They did it for many years in a row where they would show 24 hours of A Christmas Story.
I've probably seen all of it in pieces, never in a single sitting.
It doesn't have the most in-depth, chronological plot, so that probably works.
If we're gonna go with raunchy, I might throw in a very Harold and Kumar Christmas. If we're gonna go with the appalling Christmas movies, let's see. This month could go one way or another. Adam asks if Planes, Trains, and Automobiles would be considered a movie.
Probably more than Die Hard in my mind. John Candy and Steve Martin, a good movie.
It's a good movie. Yeah, that's a good question.
Trying to get home for the holidays, I think it counts.
What's A Bad Mom's Christmas? I've not watched this one. There does seem to be a selection of raunchy holiday movies. And I have a copy of a very Brady Christmas movie. So
is that a comedy?
It's a tragedy.
What about Ernest Saves Christmas?
Oh, there you go. Was there a Medea Christmas movie?
Oh gosh, yes. There's probably a trilogy of those.
Office Christmas Party?
Nope.
2016.
I somehow missed that one.
Tyler Perry's A Medea Christmas.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. He wasn't missing out on that.
Trading Places is listed as a Christmas movie.
Interesting. Well, we'll get a jump on our holidays. This will be good.
The Night Before, of course, yes, with Seth Rogen.
Yep.
A very Harold and Kumar Christmas.
Yeah, Eric just mentioned that one.
Okay, I wasn't paying attention.
That's a very
Jingle All the Way. You get your Schwarzenegger.
Oh, I forgot about Jingle All the Way. And now I forgot it again.
Grumpy Old Men.
Really? They're counting Grumpy Old Men as a Christmas movie? Yeah, maybe.
That's true. Well, there's Love Actually if you want to get into romantic comedies.
All right. Well, I think we've hit an hour.
Yes, we have.
I have a crazy dog. I need to go downstairs and check out again.
You got
Good luck with that.
A little cleanup to do. So we'll be back Friday with lots of games, lots of fun.
Yes.
Yeah. Good times.
Well, thank you. This was fun.
Oh, the Star Wars Christmas. The Star Wars.
Well, there's the Lego Star Wars Christmas now that they have on Disney Plus.
Oh, I haven't.
I don't know if it's been released yet, but it was coming out this month.
That's excellent.
Well, meet the Fockers.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Fockers.
Ben Stiller, Robert De Niro. Yeah.
I guess I never really thought about that one.
Yes,
Yep.
we did.
Funny movie. Funny movie.
Stuff. I think we'll get a lot of good stuff on the wheel. That's excellent. All right, cool.
All right. Well, that'll be the show for tonight. Exactly an hour. Thank you all. We'll see you on Friday. Wear your mask. Stay at home. Don't go out.
Good advice.
Good advice. Absolutely.
All right. Bye.
Peace.